What's up, everyone? Back for another beer review, and today is Wednesday, which of course means it's time for another Western York Wednesday here on the channel. And the beer I'm reviewing today once again comes from the Big Ditch Brewing Company, and they are out of Buffalo, New York. And this is their Kölsch, and this is a part of their Beer That Tastes Like Beer series. So this is a German-style Kölsch that comes in at 5.3% alcohol by volume, 20 IBUs at the time of review. This can is exactly 12 days old. So we have another beer from Big Ditch within their Beer That Tastes Like Beer series. I have reviewed 3 this year from them. Their English Dark Mild, their Helles Lager, and their Hefeweizen, all extremely well made. My favorite was the Dark Mild, just a really tasty, low ABV, darker beer, just delicious. And I said whenever they release a new beer within the series, I'm going to try to review them, and this is their latest release. So let's read on the back real quick what this series is all about. And this beer specifically says, we love beer because of the diversity of styles that can be produced from the 4 basic ingredients of malt, hops, yeast, and water. But in a world where it seems like craft beer is increasingly tasting similar, and in parentheses they say, not that we have anything against juicy IPAs and fruited sours, we wanted to shine a light on, quote, a beer that tastes like beer to keep us from forgetting why we fell in love with craft beer in the first place. And then underneath about this beer, they say this German-style lager ale hybrid is slightly fruity, slightly bready, and completely refreshing on a warm day. So I've mentioned before how much I enjoy Kölsch, one of my favorite low ABV kind of crushers. And when they say it's a lager ale hybrid, they actually, Kölsches themselves are brewed with ale yeast and then cold conditioned like a lager, so you get the best of both worlds. What's funny is most places call them Kölsch style ales, because I believe you have to be within a 50-kilometer range or distance of Cologne, Germany, where this style originated to be called an actual Kölsch and not Kölsch style. So anyway, let's get this into the glass, see what we got going on here. So yeah, it's gonna look like a lager for the most part, taste like it to some degree, but it is a hybrid nonetheless. So beautiful looking beer, for sure. The one thing I noticed, and this happened with the Helles as well, is the heads dissipate quite quickly on their Beer That Tastes Like Beer series. I don't know what the deal is there. Anyway, that has a really nice, just golden yellow color, clarity through the roof, some decent carbonation, had about a finger of a bright white soap sudsy head that is now dissipated to a thin film. Like I said, it's weird. I think the Helles did the exact same thing, so I don't know if that's an issue. It's not the glass, I don't think, because I've drank other beers with this and the heads don't dissipate. I know sometimes with like washing and whatnot, but yeah, anyway, let's get a nose. Yeah, so when they say slightly fruity, slightly bready, yeah. So it has a nice bready malt component, almost slight honey tinges to it, so like a honey bread. The fruitiness that I'm getting is like maybe like a whiter fruit, like maybe like a pear, or maybe even like a slight grapey sensation. Has a nice like floral, almost earthiness to it. But I really love the combination of the malts, or I should say the characteristic from the malts, that honey bread with the slight fruity character, really nice. Just smells super refreshing. Yeah, I mean, I like Kölsches, so I'd imagine I'm gonna like this one. And after last week reviewing their Unicorn Parfait, which was a miss from them for me, the first foray into pastry sours, it just missed the mark for me. I gave it a 3.4 out of 5. I'm really looking forward to them redeeming themselves, so to speak. So cheers, everyone, or should I say prost. Really nice. So when you take a sip, first thing I notice is very lager-esque, just the feeling to the mouthfeel and kind of the finish and the characters you're getting. Body, this one's like medium, maybe a touch under medium body, really nice at 5.3%. The mouthfeel, it's crisp, it's clean, it's refreshing. It's really smooth too on the palate, especially on the finish, but everything you kind of want from a style like this. The taste, it's great. It's almost like their Helles, which big bready monster, typically German-style Helles lagers just have that big, complex bready note to the malt character. And that's what you get here, but it's not as complex, and there's a little bit more fruitiness. So I get, again, that honey drizzled kind of like toasted white bread. And then that hits me right at the front of the palate. Then right after that, white peach, maybe, but no. I was gonna say white pear for some reason. We'll just say pear. There was pear, A little bit of like a red apple core and a touch of that grapey sensation as well. 2/3 of the way through the palate, there's this nice earthy, almost slightly spicy and floral kind of hop character hitting. And this dries out. This is really semi to full on dry. Mild to moderate bitterness, kind of right in between. More dry than bitter though. 5.3%, you can't taste. This is just a summer crusher. This isn't really a crusher of a beer at any time. You don't have to drink it during the summer, but I would say this is a great summer beer. And the fact that they released this one in August, I think perfect, honestly, for what they should be going for. Not much more to say about this. I'm not going to stretch this out any longer than it needs to be. Really well made German-style Kölsch. Another winner within their beer that tastes like beer series. I really like Kölsch, so this is going to be a little bit higher than I think the average person. I think it's like, you know, you get like the best parts of like a Helles lager for me, but with like a little bit more fruitiness from the beer. So I really like this one. So Kölsch, within their a beer that tastes like beer series from Big Ditch, I am going to actually give this a low 4.25 and go 4.15. I think it's really damn good for a Kölsch. And if you like Kölsches and you're here in the Western New York area, more specifically Buffalo, or you're in New York State, you can get Big Dish stuff and you see this, pick it up. It's well worth it. Price and availability, this is the only slight knock I would put on this series. A 4-pack of that is $12.99, so $13 4-pack. It's not egregious. It's not over the top. But for a 5.3% Kölsch, I would want it more closer to $10 and preferably no more than $12. But you know, it's $13. It's not a big deal, so I'm not going to sit here and go nuts over. But you know, just a little bit pricey for what I'm looking for. But that goes for every beer within the series, so whatever. The availability, Big Ditch gets distro throughout the vast majority of New York State at this point. I don't think they get into New York City in a couple spots, I think upstate. But outside of that, if you live in West New York or in the capital region now, they just got distro there, you should be able to find some of their stuff. Will you be able to see a beer like this and some of their like specialty releases? I don't know. You'll definitely see, you know, the capital region and like upstate and like say Syracuse and whatnot. You'll probably see a lot of their regular offerings, but I don't know if you'll see the special releases. You can order their stuff online and pick up at the brewery. I don't know if they ship. I should say, I don't know. I had a couple beers shipped to me a couple years ago, so that's stupid that I said that. They do ship, I believe, within New York State. So you can get your hands on Big Dish stuff if you want to. And like a beer like this, like I said, it's extremely well made. It's a really good Kölsch, and there's not many out there, at least here locally. I like me a good Kölsch, and I think this is a good Kölsch. So appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol, and stopping by for another West New York Wednesday. If you've had this beer or anything within the series, post in the comment section. Let me know. I don't know what I'm reviewing next week for Western New York Wednesday, but I guess we'll find out in due time. I did see that the Brickyard Brewing Company in Lewiston, New York is releasing their Millions of Peaches, which is a peach gelato IPA, which I've had before, but I have never had it in out of a can. And I think it's the first time. I don't know if it's the first time they released in can, but I did their strawberry one, Millions of Strawberries, and it was delicious. And I reviewed that many years ago, so I'm probably going to review that peach variant if I can. Anyway, appreciate everybody stopping by. Till the next one. Cheers.